This is your Barbados Today evening news update for Wednesday, June the 20th. So glad you could join us. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Topping the news at this hour, Barbados and the Inter-American Development Bank are set to embark on a new relationship. After hosting talks with the IDB President Luis Alberto Moreno and his team at government headquarters today, Prime Minister Mia Mottley lamented that Barbados has not been drawing down on available funding from the multilateral financial institution. Mottley reported that at least 5 loans were cancelled between 2016 and 2017, and the island, which has a $191 million portfolio with the IDB, has $135.7 million still available for its use. She said it was simply untenable and has ordered the minister in the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Marsha Cattle, to rectify the problem.
I referred to a loan to strengthen human and social development in Barbados. That is 90% of that remains undisbursed, and that loan was signed since September 2015. The road rehabilitation program, which is $25 million and $24.7 million remains undisbursed. In other words, we spent $300,000 even though that loan was signed in November 2015, and I'm sure Barbadians would be surprised given the state of our roads today. And the Smart Energy program, we literally have the deployment of cleaner fuels program, and renewable energies in Barbados, which is $34 million and $32.2 million remains available and not dispersed, even though that loan was signed almost 2 years ago. So that I think that the President and ourselves, and members of the bank in Barbados, and the person responsible for our region, Therese Turner-Jones, who is no stranger to Barbados, and of course the country rep, we all agree that this is an untenable situation. First and foremost, the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Minister Cattle has been given the responsibility of trying to get these loans fully functional again and to increase our disbursement ratio.
Meanwhile, the IDB President Luis Alberto Moreno today endorsed the government's economic program, and he called for all hands to join in helping the economy to recover. He stressed that the private sector has a special role to play.
For the private sector to do its share is going to require financing, and we are equally in that space ready to help, because, as I said before, everybody has to chip in. And if you're a long-term vision of any businessman in this country, this is the time to tighten the belt, but at the same time think that you should be able to have more employees, you should be able to make a bigger effort, and we're there to precisely help in that effort. So this is the reason we're here. We believe in your leadership, and we believe that this is the kind of way forward for Barbados.
In other news now, 6 St. Michael residents are now homeless after fire destroyed their houses this afternoon. Beater holder Aline and Sylvan Calendar lost everything in the blaze, which occurred just after 12:30 p.m. The hero of the day was Paul Holder, the son of Beater Holder, who rescued his 80-year-old mother. Holder praised her son and gave thanks that she was still alive despite losing her home and possessions. Calendar was not at home at the time of the blaze. A team of 14 fire officers battled the fire. Urgent help is on the way for the residents of White Hill St. Andrew. This was the assurance given to residents as Minister of Transport, Works and Maintenance, Dr. William Duguid, MP for St. Andrew, and Minister of Housing, Lands and Rural Development, George Payne, and other officials who got a first-hand look at the community badly affected by land slippage. Minister Duguid says there's no mistaking the dilemma facing the residents, and there can be no more delay in fixing the problem.
There's a lot of work to be done out here in the St. Andrew, Scotland District area, and the ministry will be working full steam ahead. But of course we understand that Minister Payne has as his absolute priority White Hill, and we'll be getting on that as a matter of urgency. In addition, we are setting up a subcommittee headed by Minister Peter Phillips together with Soil Conservation and the Ministry of Public Works to be able to give us some options and costing of what it would be for White Hill and also the subsidiary all of these other roads. But clearly there's been significant neglect in this constituency for a long time, and now we have to put those wrong things right and get things back in order in this constituency.
Meanwhile, Minister Payne hinted that relocation of the majority of the residents is off the table. He says such an undertaking will be too expensive, and the focus must now be on repairing the road and improving conditions for residents.
But if you look at it strictly in terms of economics and you look at the costs of reciting all of the houses in the White Hill area, I think that is, there's no way that we would be able to achieve that, because you're talking of about close to $20–25 million to relocate all of those houses. There are a few houses near the very near the road that must be as a matter of urgency must be relocated. But you're probably talking about 10 houses or so. But you have about over 50 houses in the White Hill area. You have some solid stone structures. And it is extremely costly. It is more costly to relocate than to fix the road in White Hill.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
On the regional scene in Guyana, U.S.-based oil giant ExxonMobil has struck oil again, this time at the Longtail-1 exploration well, making this the 8th successful discovery. In a press release, ExxonMobil's partner, Hess Corp, said this discovery creates the potential for additional resource development in the southeast area of the Starbuck block. Steve Greenlee, president of the ExxonMobil Exploration Company, said the latest find is in close proximity to the Turbot discovery southeast of the Liza field. The company estimates that the combined estimated recoverable resources of Turbot and Longtail will exceed 500 million barrels of oil. On the international scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order promising to keep families together amid fury over separation of migrant families. He said he had been swayed by pictures of children who have been taken from their parents while they are jailed and prosecuted for illegal border crossing. The Republican president had earlier urged lawmakers to pass a bill ending family separations. He also wants immigration laws to be toughened under any such legislation.
I didn't like the sight or the feeling of families being separated. There's a problem that's gone on for many years, as you know, through many administrations, and we're working very hard on immigration. It's been just left out in the cold. People haven't dealt with it, and we are dealing with it. So step by step, just like we dealt with North Korea, we dealt with Iran, we dealt with an economy that was heading in the wrong direction, we dealt with a lot of different problems. This is one that has been gone on for many decades. So we're keeping families together, and this will solve that problem.
Under That's News, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic evening.